Good evening. Here I am, Jerry Farnham, Maine's blue collar author. I'm going to show you another video author talk. Glad to be here tonight. I've got a lot of positive energy going on. Yeah, it's going to be a good night. Before we dig in too far, I do want to mention Booth Bay. The Booth Bay area lost Titan recently. A great guy. Really, just a great guy. George McAvoy. I met him a few times. I knew of him, and one memory I have of him is being down at the co-op one Friday evening. Having drinks and having a few beers and just you know how the co-op is on a Friday night. And he just walked right up and had beer in his hand and passed me one, and out of nowhere. And that's just how George was. I don't think he knew me. I don't know if he did know me, and he didn't care. And it was just that's how he was. And he was a great guy. We're all gonna miss him. Here's to you, George. Yeah. So moving on. This month is so busy. A lot's going on this month. There's graduations happening. Father's Day is day after tomorrow. Booth Bay boat races are tomorrow, and Windjammer Days is coming up. I sat there and said I wasn't going to buy a script, and you can catch me looking at the script. I have my wife's birthdays this month, and I have my nephew's wedding. So it's a busy month. Pandemonium. I like it. Keeps me moving. So we'll keep moving right along here. But June's looking pretty full. I love June. Graduations are always great. So June again. This month marks 2 years since I started on this author journey. And man, what a journey it's been. I mean, 207, all the author talks, all the book signings. I don't even. It's just awesome, and I'm so thankful to be here. And I thank all of you, all my readers, all my supporters, my beta readers, all the people that just help me. Joanne Allen, Daryl Goodrow, Andy Roberts, Mark Webster. Gosh, I know I'm missing people. All the staff at Sherman's. Jenny Mitchell for throwing me the release party last November. And she's going to be throwing me another one coming up. It's just, you really look and see how many people are behind you, pushing you and keeping you going. And just, that's what's made this 2 years so great, is this contingency I've built. And so thank you all. And I appreciate all of you. And thank you again. Speaking of Jenny Mitchell, she's having a big day today. America's Best Restaurants is at her restaurant today. They're streaming live there, or streaming, or videoing there, filming there for a show. And so that's great. I'm so happy that she's getting that recognition. Good on her. I hope you had a great day, Jenny. All right, moving on. Status of First Light. First Light should be released around Labor Day. Jenny and I are working out the details. Actually, Jenny and I have been working this out. I've been kind of voted out of this. I've been, she's working with Joanne Allen and Daryl Goodrow to pinpoint all the times, and she's just basically going to tell me when it is. I think we're looking at August 30th. And she's handling all the details. That group that support me, they're got me, and they just look, you right, we'll handle the details, and I love it. Thank you all. Again, I swear, I thank you guys 100 times. It's still ain't enough. So yeah, I'm promoting First Light right now. I've taken a week off writing, which increases my stress level greatly. Because marketing is such a slug. You guys probably saw my event on my personal Facebook account. I think I shared it on my Reddit Night account. And I don't mean anything negative about it. It's just it's so hard. It's like a second and third job, marketing a book. And just building my contact list, adding more contacts to it. So if you have any ideas or any contact information you want to share, you know the email, redditnightseries@gmail.com. You could probably track down my phone number easy enough. There's several people that have it. You PM me on my personal Facebook account. There's plenty of people that know of me. You can get a hold of me. So yeah, if you've got anything to share to help me with the quest of promoting and getting my name out there, I'll gladly take it. Also, speaking of that, today's Facebook post, I posted 2 pictures of a ball cap and a what they call a bucket hat. And the logos on those were pretty small. That's not how they'll look if I do them. I'll take them to a shop here in Maine and have them do it. So everything will be, right. And I like to keep all my business in Maine. I don't want to use, 1-800-customhats.com or any of those websites. I'd rather walk into a shop in Maine and say, this is my idea. Can you do it? Here's my logo. So I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it is something I've got in the back of my mind. It's something I've wanted to do for so long. I'm missing the name. One of my readers has constantly asked me that do hoodies. I think hats would be easier because of sizing, but someday I would love to do hoodies too. So moving on, book recommendations. I picked up this book a little while ago. This is a friend of mine from the Down East Boat Forum. I've never, a lot of the guys on the forum I've never met personally, and I've never met Russell. This is not the Russell from my book. I didn't know him when I was writing the book. But he wrote this book. It's On the Fish. It's a history of harpoon sword fishing vessels from 1850 to 1975. This book is great. It's got great information in it. It's got not illustrations, but pictures in it of boats of the bygone era of sword fishing, harpoon sword fishing. So if you're interested in any type of saltwater fishing or just being out on the water, I highly suggest this book. I loved it. It's nonfiction, so everything's real. It was definitely a great read, and I'm glad I spent the time reading it. Speaking of, make sure I'll tell you how to get it. The author is Russell E. Cleary, and you can find this book through his publisher, Peter E. Randall Publisher. It's right on their website, Peter E. Randall Publisher. If for some reason you can't find that, contact me via my website or my email, and I will get you. I'll get you in touch, because if you want this book, I want you to be able to get it. And Russell's a great guy too. I've known him just via the boat forum for a while, and he's always got great suggestions to people and just great inputs. Along with the Working Waterfront, if you like watching videos of people working, of just people being out on the water, working waterfront, something other than commercial fishing. My friend Dave has a channel called Monarch Moorings. He just does mooring work, but he narrates it. It's funny. It's great. It's just another part of the working waterfront that I always overlook is the commercial construction and what support, will help support the tourist industry and the lobster industry and stuff like that. So Dave's out of Rhode Island. He's a great guy. He's another guy I know from the boat forum. I've met him, talked with him. So if you like watching videos of people working on the water, I highly suggest his videos. He's got a YouTube channel. I shared it, I think, this morning on my Facebook page. So be sure to look that up. All right, moving on. As I said, Booth Bay Lobster races are tomorrow. both the lobster races mean so much to me. They're a part of my growing up. Lobsterboat racing was a part of my growing up, and I love lobsterboat racing. And it's just because of scheduling and whatever, I haven't been able to go in a number of years. It looks like the rain's going to hold off enough so I can go down tomorrow. I am so anxious to go down. I miss it so much. Lobstering meant so much to me growing up, and lobster racing. And that's why I put it in the book. I remember my brother, when I was in the Navy, my brother used to email me the race results while I was in the med cruise, and that was just a way to keep a piece of home with me, and I always appreciate it. You gotta drink some scotch. We're talking about lobster racing. So yeah, boat races are tomorrow. If you can find a boat, that's the best way to watch. If you can't, over by I'm blanking. Bigelow Lab is the best place to watch on that front lawn. Not Bigelow Lab. I forgot. Oh well. There's a place by the water you can watch. You look for those people. Have another scotch, Jerry. So I want to read you a part of the lobsterboat racing from my book. And see, I marked it off right there. The conversation was interrupted by the sound of the gas-powered lobsterboats coming down the track. Most of them were more noise and speed, owned by guys that were just getting started in the business, or part-timers, or older lobstermen that are just too stubborn to retire. Russell untied the boat, and Melissa jumped on board. The old smoke made its way to the starting line, with Melissa at the helm. After getting to the starting line, Russell chimed in with instructions and pointers. Listen, that blue boat over there, that's the start boat. Now, if you've ever been to blue boat races, you know what blue boat I'm talking about. It's Tony Bradley's boat, Moondance. And I used to be the start guy on that boat many moons ago. So I didn't mention him by name on the book, but I did mention the boat. And that, that's the boat I'm talking about. They will raise the big pirate flag here in a bit. When they do, you want to be right beside them. Keep one hand on the throttle, the other on the wheel, and you got to bounce your eyes back and forth a bit from looking ahead and watching the flag. When the flag drops, you creep that throttle up nice and steady. You won't hurt anything if you could push it too fast. She just takes off better under a steady hand. Check the gauges once in a while. If the temp gauge goes over 210, back down slow and easy. She'll want to roll a bit when Clive goes by. Just make small corrections. Now, if you've ever watched the boat races, you've seen the boats get past, and all of a sudden they start rocking heavy. And it's really easy to accidentally overcorrect, and you end up going really side to side. You just gotta make small motions and keep yourself straight. So just make small corrections. You'll be fine. You're going to be right here, right? Melissa asked. Hell no. She goes better with the weight aft. I'm going to sit on the stern and have me a pipe, Russell said as he packed a load of tobacco into his pipe. Melissa was nervous now. This was the craziest thing she had done in a long time. She felt like she was going to puke at any moment. I'm going to interrupt here again. Now, my brother, when he had his boat Miss Attitude, would not always, but often leave the wheel and have me run the boat for the boat races. And I can tell you, I know exactly what Melissa was feeling, because I would get sick to my stomach when he did that. I was so nervous, and I was about to get sick, and I was almost going to leave the wheel and have him come back. But it's such a rush to be running a boat in the boat races. I miss that so much. She was about to wave to Russell to have him take the wheel, but the flag went up. She throttled up to match speed with the start boat. She glanced ahead briefly to make sure she was headed straight, and then looked back to her right to check the start boat again. Just as she did, the flag dropped. Melissa whipped her head around and focused down the track. All nervousness was gone in this instant. She pushed the throttle ahead until it stopped, and she kept it pinned there. As predicted, Clive's boat, Sea Swallow, started going by. Old Smoke rolled a bit, but Melissa kept it straight and true. Suddenly, a giant puff of black smoke came from Sea Swallow, and it slowed to a stop. Melissa kept the throttle pinned as she went by. She passed the finished boat, and slowed down, easily. She turned back to Russell, who had his old ball cap backwards and his pipe firmly in his teeth with a big grin. "Holy shit, Russell, that was awesome," she was beaming. "Good job, kiddo. First place. Now we swing by the finished float and get your prize, then we gotta go check on Clive." Melissa had become a natural at running the boat. She eased into the finished float and collected the prize. She passed the envelope back to Russell and then headed towards Sea Swallow. "Pull up to his port side and I'll put out some bumpers. Make sure the davit is clear of his cabin," Russell ordered. She eased up alongside, backing down to bring Old Smoke to a stop. They tied the boats together. "Where do you want to go, Clive?" Russell asked. "Take me back to the finished float. I'm fucking done with this caterpillar piece of shit. I'm getting Michael to order me a Cummins first thing Monday morning." Now I interrupt again. This is a little jab on Clive on my part, because Clive is a diehard Caterpillar fan, and I'm a diehard Cummins fan. So I couldn't help but do that. But it was, Clive's a good guy. He took it. He never yelled at me for that. So Russell motioned to have Melissa start going. "Well, I've never towed a boat before," said Melissa. "Well, you are today. Just put him on the back of this finished float so he can announce and be out of the way," Russell ordered. And that's just typical. So, when you're out on a lobster boat, you don't always have all the experience, but your captain will be the one to sit there and, "Well, do it anyway." Who cares if you've never done this before? You're going to do it today. And then you do it again, and do it again. And that's one of the things I always liked about the lobstering culture is, I've never docked a boat. Well, get behind the wheel. You're going to do it today. And that's the part of the growing up and that lobstering culture that I miss. So, moving on, reader questions. I did get emailed one email question that was really good. What is my favorite part of writing, and what is my favorite part of writing, and what's my least favorite part of writing? My favorite part is Scotch. No. My favorite part is just it's when I get questions like that from readers, when I get, obviously, positive reviews are always good. When I hear how someone was reading and they started crying or started laughing or they clenched their fists in anger, I know that I reached the reader, and I conveyed the emotions that I felt when I was writing, and it just keeps me going. I love hearing stuff like that. And I like the author talks. I like doing these. It's just been, it was a lot more to writing than I thought. And I like it. It's fun. Even the writing itself, when I get lost in a storyline and it's like my fingers can't keep up to my thought process. I love those moments when I go back and I read it and I'm like, wow, where did that come from? So it's all fun. It's great. My least favorite part is, as you can tell from my Facebook post on my personal account, is the marketing. it's such a slug. It's such a hard work, and it's so. Another author who I was talking to today via email said it's like shouting into a void. And I'm not trying to make it sound negative. I'm very fortunate to be where I am, and I know, once I put the work in and I put my time in, that I'm gonna pick my head up, and it's all gonna be worthwhile. It's already worthwhile with the friends I've collected and the support I've collected. It's just sometimes it feels very like a lot of hard work with no return. But I guess the marketing part is the hardest part, and it's my least favorite part because I'm just it's a lot to learn, and there's a lot of stuff to go into it. But it's still I'll gladly spend 5 hours of marketing time just to get 10 minutes of writing time. It's well worth it. It's fun. Well, that was a quick one. Did I shout out to everybody? Yep, I mentioned George. I mentioned Brady's. I thought I was going to go off the rails with this one, but I guess I managed to stay on course. I haven't gotten a camera yet, so I'm not able to do this live and interact with people. I'm looking forward to doing that. I hope I can do that soon. I will hopefully be at the Lobsterboat races tomorrow. I'll be on the boat Tessa's Pride. If you see me, wave. I'll be glad to, if you've got a book on you, I'll be glad to sign it. And that's about it. You guys, good night, folks. If those that are steaming to the races tomorrow, please be safe. Those that are at Booth Bay tonight and having a good time, be safe. That's it. Good night from me.